Hello. I'm here. I'm talking now.
What?
Hi.
What?
I said, hi, hey, I'm here. I'm talking now.
Oh, hey, what's up? Yeah.
Ah,
Woo!
hooray.
Yay, everyone's here. Woo!
Yeah,
Back.
everyone's here. Is there anyone here? Hello?
I don't know.
Is there anyone alive out there? I have to refresh my memory in multiple ways now. I have to refresh my memory in terms of what we're talking about, and in terms of refresh my memory from last week, and I have to refresh my memory on how we even did the show. It's been a few weeks now, but
Been a minute. Well, there's nothing previously on, so you can't really. Oh, wait, there is kind of. I guess if you want to go back, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
That alone was like 5 to 10 minutes. Felt like trying to cram in the first prequel, basically.
I might do. It was all. It was all the prequels, right?
Yeah.
I might just briefly talk about that, maybe.
Just be like, all right, and then they previous on it was just prequels.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. Well, I suppose we got a lot to talk about. So.
Yep. No sailing the 7 seas tonight.
Nope. Probably not. All right. Oh, hey, Mishify. How's it going? How are you? We're about to start the program.
Man, my hair looks like crap right now. I don't really care.
No. You're doing good.
I got to get a haircut before Vegas.
Yeah.
I got some time.
I don't know if you do. I'm sure, but if you want, sure. Was about to watch episode 3. We just got done watching episode 3, but don't worry. Worry not. We won't be talking about that till next week. Decided trying to do 3 episodes in a day was too much. So we'll talk about 3 and 4 next week.
I know. I would like to relax a little bit.
Yeah. But we are gonna still subdivide these episodes tonight and next week.
Just wait until Miss Marvel comes out, then it gets even crazier.
Yeah. We've got a plan, sort of.
When's What If coming out, by the way?
Oh gosh.
That one's gonna be good again.
Yeah,
I'm already ready for that.
That's the thing with like second seasons. I'm wondering, like, if we get any off time, we could talk about, the previous season of What If first or something, or Bad Batch. But then it's like, where do you start? I guess the animated stuff is a whole nother thing.
Well, I mean, you could still start off with Bad Batch. You don't have to be like, oh, we gotta go back to season 1 to tell you. You just would be like a synopsis, whatever that's called. I think.
We'll see what works. Whatever's clever, I guess. Okie dokie. I suppose we could start the show.
Start the show.
Starting the show. Doing the thing.
The show.
Okay, here we go. Again, it's been a while, but I think I got this. And I got the date on here, right? This is episode 7.
Wednesday, June 1st.
That is accurate. All right, here we go. That's right. I was trying to do a little catch up, or trying to remind myself what all went on. Blah 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 blah. There's a lot actually in the first episode. All right.
Well, that was a long episode.
Yeah. All right. In 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to Disnerds Plus, where we talk about your favorite nerdy shows on Disney Plus. This is our 7th episode. for Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. We're talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi now, part
Oh
1
boy.
today. That's right, we've moved on from our comics to our sci-fi here, and pretty excited about it. Pretty darn excited indeed.
It's pretty
I'm
neat.
Shane.
Oh, I'm Mike. Hey.
Oh, hey, Mike. Oh, I didn't see you there. How you doing,
Hey,
man?
hey. Oh, look, I'm good.
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 Yeah, so we're talking about some Star Wars for once. This is it's going to be good, I think. I'm very much excited to not talk about a super hectic multi-personality thing, just culmination of madness that show was, and move on to something a little simpler like laser swords and space and ships and things.
What makes you think this is going to be like not as complicated?
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out right now. Previously on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There
Yeah, we
was
talked
no
about this before.
previous
It's just the prequels. It was just there's just a the quickest summary ever of
Yeah.
like 6, 7, 8 hours worth of content, whatever it is. No, wait, it's more like probably closer to 9 hours.
9. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if they were 3 hours apiece, they're about 2.5. So it's like 7.5 hours of content. But yeah,
Round it to 8.
let's round it up. Yeah, yeah. They did it in like 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All the prequels. Go back and listen to Weird Al's Saga Begins song. That'll catch you up until Attack of the Clones, which is just a love story and I don't know, some there's like an arena with monsters in it, I think I remember, and then maybe like a marriage, and then and
That
then
was about it.
and then the creation of Darth Vader. That's it.
You know, when they said Attack of the Clones, I thought I was going to see more clones, and didn't see a lot of clones. Only at the end.
Yeah, that's
sad.
very true. That is very true. What and not to, on top of it all, it sounds like a B movie, that title, but you know.
But it misled me. It's a misleading title in a way.
Very true. Very true.
But then they got, the Clone Wars, so they made up for it.
Yeah. Yep.
Which
Exactly.
I really like that show.
Yeah, and that a lot of that is starting to carry over in some of Dave Filoni's work, right?
That guy is the new brainchild of Star Wars. Well, him and Jon Favreau, because Jon Favreau writes for The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's I guess the reports are starting to say he's starting to write for season 4 of Mandalorian. So he's already on
That's right.
on a
Saw that as
track
well.
to do that. So that'll be fun.
Yes. Only good thing. Well, it depends who you ask, but I think only good things. I love me some Star Wars.
Shane, you look like the expert in this one because all the Star Wars stuff behind you.
Well, I still think, my lore is always a little bit. You know so much about like the. I mean, you got me into Clone Wars and Rebels and all that, but I still feel like you have more knowledge on like lore in general when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I watch a lot of YouTube and I like watching the shows and stuff. Even sometimes second or third, whatever. My thing.
Right on. Okay, well, hey, let's start talking about this here series.
Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta talk about this.
It
about
came
that.
out actually last Wednesday, whenever that. Oh
Yeah,
no,
last Friday. Last Friday.
Two episodes, which we are we're not spoiler, but this is all spoilers actually. But we were talking about both of those episodes tonight. But we're just so you know what's going on here. If I say the same date twice, it's because we're recording both episodes tonight. But yeah, so on Friday they released parts 1 and 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. And was something, right off the bat, we see the intro screen. I noticed, I believe they've extended that from like the Mandalorian now, and they're including all sorts of new characters in that opening sequence now.
I saw the armorer or whatever her name is from the Mandalorian.
Oh, interesting character to put in there.
I know.
But yeah, that's the whole thing. Like it's still just helmets. I guess that makes sense, right? Like we're just gonna put recognizable helmets or droid faces in this.
I mean, there's a lot of different creatures and faces you could put up on there, and that's the way you identify with Star Wars.
Yes,
I mean, it's
and
not
I
like they're
do
not going
like
to do
it.
the Marvel thing
I
where it's
like,
like a comic strip looking kind of thing going on.
I mean, they're that's totally what I thought of when I first saw they were starting to do that. It's like they're trying to
You know,
Star Wars is trying to do that too now.
there's other streaming services that are doing that because I have Paramount and I watch some Star Trek, like the new stuff that came out, and they when you go on their shows now, it has like an animation of like Enterprise like
Oh, nice,
hit and warp. It's really neat.
sweet, that's cool.
So they're starting to do that with like all these series, like like the long running series
Mm-hmm.
or franchise, I should say.
Hey, I think it's cool.
It's moneymakers.
Right. So
Money.
this show opens up with something that I don't think either of us sort of anticipated. First off, we didn't anticipate the recap of the prequels, which was
Nope.
kind of funny, but we also didn't anticipate that we would be starting the series in Coruscant of all places, and right as Order 66 is going on, right? Because we got Padawans that are training, and the clone troopers bust in, and they run away. Eventually, their master gets killed, and but these 5 younglings. This is interesting because they didn't really go too much beyond. Like we see 5 younglings that escape, uh, which I don't know if we don't know at this point at all. We still don't know who any of these were, right? We just that's just basically to show that some.
I mean, I had a suspicion about one of them already, so
Okay, gotcha.
I have a feeling one of them's already been shown on first episode as an adult.
Right, because it's 10 years. Well, to jump ahead a little bit, we are taken to Tatooine 10 years after those events, and we're in a what I describe as a moss something,
It's one of
because
the Moss ports, whatever. They're all
one of
having
the
Moss. I feel
mosses,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
um, yeah, because they don't specify at this point, but we see an Imperial ship arriving. I'm trying to remember what kind of ship it is. We didn't know
That's
necessarily.
It's kind of like an Inquisitor. I'm gonna call it like an Inquisitor ship because it's probably made especially just for them.
Right. Makes
That
sense because
makes
surprise,
identifies them.
Inquisitors actually step off of the ship. So go
3 of them.
figure.
And you know what's weird? We've already seen 2 of them in the Star Wars universe, technically.
Right. So the one that's not the new person who is popping up everywhere because I think she's a big name. She's a kind of an upcoming name, right? Actor. I mean, I guess she's been in some other
Actress.
things. Both terms work, I believe.
I've only seen her in this. I can't even remember her name. Moses something.
Mm-hmm.
It's Moses. Yeah, I can't remember her name, but she does good as Inquisitor.
So this is, but she is a new character as far as you're aware, right?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, I never heard of Riva before until episode 1 of this.
Right, and she's referred to throughout this as the third sister is
Third
one of the
sister. Yep.
things they keep calling her. But yeah, Reva is
Well,
her what she also goes by.
good that they're keeping with that with all the shows they already had with Fifth Sister, Ninth Sister, or even in the Star Wars Fallen Order, they did that. They had the second sister.
Oh, really?
What was the second sister? Or I can't keep up with all these damn numbers.
Right.
There's too many of them.
How dare you?
I know the Grand Inquisitor is just the Grand Inquisitor, so he's the bad one,
and of
the baddest
course,
of them all.
the Grand Inquisitor, the one that people were complaining about, that his head wasn't tall enough or whatever, compared to the series, which I'm trying to even remember. Was it Clone Wars? Which one is he actually in?
Rebels.
It is Rebels he shows up in. Okay. And I've watched it. It's been there's a lot of content there. It turns out, but and the other guy is also in there. The one with the funny hat. That's the other
Funny
guy
hat.
you're saying. The third one.
Oh yeah, the fifth brother, I believe is
I think they
referred to.
call him fourth,
He
but that's
was
the most
in,
recent.
or rather, maybe,
Oh, maybe
but
it
he
was
was in
fifth.
Rebels.
Okay, he was also in Rebels. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's an ugly looking one. And
He's he looks like he's maybe got some scars or something. I
could be,
think.
could
Of course,
be.
they both, unless it's just like their particular species or something. But the so the Grand Inquisitor we see, he's sort of leading the charge. He the first thing he does is growl, at least according to the subtitles. But
Love subtitles.
yeah, and then they proceed to walk into a nearby pub of sorts.
Cantina.
Cantina, yes, yes, you're right.
That's how they classify him in the Star
Yes,
Wars.
it's true.
In the
Uh,
Star Wars.
and then they're in there talking about they give their talk about their Jedi hunting. I think they ask the bartender or something about do
What
you know,
the know what a Jedi is or how to something? I don't know.
or do you know why we're here? And the bartender's like reluctantly, it's a hunt Jedi, you know.
No,
Uh,
they asked who they are. Do you know who we are?
mm-hmm.
And he's like, "You're Inquisitors. You hunt Jedi."
Right.
So I'm like, yeah. Anyway,
And
continue.
yeah, so the I've down here the woman throws a blade,
That's
and
Reva.
yes, Reva.
Reva, Reva, Reva,
Reva,
Reva,
I'm Reba.
Reva,
I mean,
Las Vegas.
uh, so she throws a blade. Oh, because the a Jedi is amongst
They're trying
them.
to find him. Yeah, they're trying to find the Jedi,
There's one that
which I
is
do.
sitting down in nearby, and I'm trying to remember. He was kind of acting a little sus, and then I think he runs. He tries to run out, and then she throws the blade, and the whatever it is, fifth or fourth brother, I think he's the one to stop it, or no, or was it, who stops the blade there? Because was it the
That was
Force
that
then?
was the Jedi. That was the Jedi that
No,
stopped it. That's why they were able to find him right away because they weeded
that's
him out right away.
right, gotcha. Um, oh, so the Grand, okay, yeah, the Grand Inquisitor sort of stops her here too because he's. I'm trying to remember.
Well, because he gets up, goes against the fifth brother, or jumps in
Mm-hmm.
front of him, and then he jumps out of the way, and then goes. Third sister jumps in front with her lightsaber coming out, and then she tries to basically slice him in half from the shoulder.
Yeah,
And the Inquisitor, or Grand Inquisitor, stops with the Force and then pushes her away, and then the Jedi runs away and knocks down the two front patio things, whatever they're called in the cantina, and then gets away.
it's kind of interesting because I feel like the other two Inquisitors are almost like they almost seem like they're more forgiving. Like they're not uh like they're not they were basically like they could have had Jedi, and like they're kind of stopping. They're kind of not not allowing the hunt to go down. Like it
Well,
doesn't seem
well,
like Darth Vader would be very pleased with them because they're actually
well,
like
the
sympathetic
problem
almost.
is problem is they can't get along, so nothing gets done
Yeah,
because they're all trying to fight for more power.
but she's
That's the
easily the
problem.
most ruthless of the three.
Oh
It
yeah,
seems like.
I don't. I have a feeling. I don't know if she's gonna make it past this season, this series.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, that's my guess. I'm just guessing. I don't even know. We
All
don't know
right,
yet.
gotcha. So then we are taken to a like a big animal's carcass of some sort, a
I,
carcass or
I,
a
it's like a sand whale, I would call it.
sand whale.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I thought at first that it was like that big. Maybe it's not big enough to be those giant sandworm things that we saw in Mandalorian, but
Yeah, that was way bigger, I think.
yeah, yeah, it's definitely a very large beast of some kind though, because we see people harvesting meat from this creature, and they have a ton of it. I mean, ton
hmm
isn't even accurate. There's
Well, I wonder how
several
they make
tons
sure it
of
doesn't
meat,
go.
probably.
Wonder how they make sure it doesn't go bad, because they just leave it overnight and just gonna be fine.
Yeah, in the desert sun. That's a great point. Maybe it doesn't go as bad, this
Unless
particular
they're
meat.
like maybe they have some kind of equipment in there and keeps it frozen at night for them, and then they
Yeah,
just
we're
cut it.
just we're just gonna
Or carbonite. Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah,
Kryptonite.
yeah, carbonite.
That's
You
what.
had it
Yeah,
right. It's not Superman's yeah.
they could be carbonating it every night. You never know.
I don't know if I want carbonite in my meat. But yeah, so we see, of course, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobi is working on this assembly line. And they just have these
Mr.
like blocks,
Obi-Wan.
these big blocks of meat from this thing. And then we see they jump to people. Oh, but before I go on, this is something we see repeated over and over, and he wraps up one little piece, and I don't know if it's really made clear if he's allowed to take this last little piece of meat with him.
I
But
mean, if you can't, that'd be a little ridiculous. It's like a little piece of meat compared to what they're
well,
called.
so what he does is he wraps this little piece of meat up in a cloth, and he takes it with him, and then we see people clocking out, and then one of the guys uh, talks about how he's only getting half of his pay, which is part of the reason I'm kind of like, okay, so there's super greedy people here and not treating their employees right, which is part of the reason I'm like, I don't know if these guys are actually, or maybe Obi-Wan's using his mind tricks so they don't notice him taking the meat. I don't know exactly.
Maybe.
But then they're all getting transported back into whichever Moss city this is, and but Obi-Wan feeds his horsey or his Eop. Uh,
Eopie, horsey. Eopie, not horse. Oh, yeah.
we do see that in many other. Well, obviously they didn't have them in the original trilogy initially, but I think they got added in the special edition, and we certainly see them in the prequels. But then Obi-Wan's taking him by his not leash. What do you what do you call that?
His reins.
Reins
The
is
reins.
probably accurate. Yes.
Probably.
Taking him.
Probably.
So he's taking him out of town, and then we see him. Oh, so he's taking him out of town. I assume he rides. Yeah, I guess he. Yeah, obviously he rides it back to his home, because then the EOP kneels down in front of wherever he's living here.
In a
And
cave. Just call it a cave. He's a cave dweller now.
yes, we then see a Jawa approaching, which I thought was interesting. He's just got like a Jawa friend, I guess, uh, who he
Hey, even
calls.
a Jedi needs a friend.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote this wrong. I said jokes about the smell. I think that I forget. Was it the Jawa making fun of?
He said Obi-Wan smelled.
Yeah. He hands him this toy ship, which had you not have mentioned it, I don't know if I would. You picked up on it right away that that's the one that Luke actually winds up with in A New Hope, or we see him flying around with. Of
I have a
course,
good eye for this stuff.
was that at Obi-Wan, or was that his home, or was that at?
He dropped it off at Luke's home, I think.
Yeah, but
Oh
I'm
no,
thinking
well,
in A New Hope, where is he when he's actually like flying the thing around?
he's down in his home when
Okay,
Owen in Peru.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess this was Tico was the name of the Jawa, which as far as I'm aware,
Tika.
the first name Jawa in all of Star Wars, probably. But don't
You
quote me
gotta
on
have
that.
names, obviously. Are they
Um,
say who's who.
Yeah. Tells him, well, every other show has just been like a group prior to this, basically, and just kind of treat they kind of this is like they're finally getting treated with a little more respect, maybe. But yeah, Obi-Wan tells him he could have at least cleaned it before selling it back to him, because I guess he had this before or something. And then yeah, so he's talking. So it's talking to the Jawa about, or Tika, sorry, about Jedi escaping.
Well, because he had that belt that was a Jedi belt, and then he talked about he must have been in town when they saw that Jedi was going up against those 3 Inquisitors and talked about that.
Right.
That's what he was talking about. Or she. Tika's a she, actually. It's got
Oh,
the A. It's a feminine Tika.
see, this is what I'm talking about. How the heck do you know that?
Well, because also Obi-Wan said something about said she to Tika, like
Okay. Nice.
her or something like that.
Way to pick up on that.
Yep.
Well done.
I
So that night, we see Obi-Wan has a nightmare with several flashbacks, again, from the prequels. I think entirely is really all all they have footage of, really.
And he's calling out to his old master.
Yes, that's right. We see, we've seen this a few times so far, how he's trying to commune, and that was what we left off at the end of the previously on, was where it has Yoda talking to him about communing with his previous master, and
We're gonna have Liam Neeson back. He's gonna be voicing something.
yeah, well, they
I have a
teased it.
feeling.
They teased it at the very end of that previously on, which made it seem like it was going to happen sooner than later. Now they're teasing it further and further, and yeah, I'm sure we're going to get it, because, and you'll find out in a minute that there was people thought that was going to be the big cameo, and so far hasn't been, but there's been some other surprises along the way, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so yeah, like we said, he called out for Qui-Gon at the end of all these flashbacks and everything, and then we're in the morning time. He's out. Obi-Wan is out in the desert on his EOP again, his horsey. Oh wait,
Horsey.
I have to point out that it had another scene with a Womp Ride in the foreground, and because we always see there's a lot of this is we've certainly seen them close up in like Mandalorian, probably. We've certainly seen Womp Rats in, they added them in the special edition, and probably have them a bit in the prequels, but this might be one of the closer shots of an actual Womp Rat I think that I've seen.
Yeah.
Because they look a little bit different than I sort of imagined. But,
yeah, I'd agree with that.
And, he's out riding, and he comes across I mean, he was going to Owen and Beru's or Lars. I put Owen. Lars.
But
Owen is their last name. I always mix that up.
No, I'm pretty sure Owen was his first name.
Oh, Lars is the last name, then. I have it right the first time?
Yeah.
Owen, Lars, Beru. Okay, got it. Owen and Beru, then. He's checking on Luke, Owen, and Beru. And we see Luke run off, and and then they think he's run off, but he's just on top of one of their huts and pretending to fly something, which you see in the trailer for this originally.
I'm gonna stop you right there and say you're wrong.
Okay.
He's pretending to pod race.
Okay.
He's got the pod racing goggles on.
Oh,
and it's
was that actually Anakin's pod racing helmet?
I don't know if that was Anakin. I don't know if that was Anakin's racing helmet. That I can't say, but yeah, they were more calling to pod racing, and the callback to his dad being a kid and wanting to pod race, or well, did pod race, but
okay. And I don't know if that was made clear or not, or if that's sort of an Easter egg more. But
It's more of an Easter egg, but it's definitely a callback to like them both having the same passions, like
I mean,
calling to it.
I would say it's uh, maybe they're leading you one way, seeing as how Luke, when we see him in A New Hope, is wanting to be a pilot and everything.
That'd be really neat if all of a sudden you see Luke like 15 pod racing and be like, oh wow, he did pod racing? What? Of
Well,
course, I don't think that'll happen because Owen is very protective.
I wonder if they explained at some point that the pod racing scene sort of faded out or something because we don't really hear about it between when we first episode 1 to forever after that.
Or it just happens at certain designated planets that the Empire allows.
Yeah,
Who knows?
could be. So yeah, so either way, he's looking like he's. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't necessarily specify what he was pretending to write, but Obi-Wan, then Nightfall. He must have been waiting there a while because he waits till dark and he leaves the toy there. Oh, but before all that, of course, and you see in the trailers that's where all the memes come in when he's got the quadoculars, whatever the heck they are, whatever they call those. They're binoculars, but they don't have there's nothing coming out. It's
Yeah, it's
opaque
just
on the one side, which is weird. Um, but he's checking in on that's how you see
Luke.
Owen run after Luke and everything, and Beru is there, but we don't get like a close up of her. So like, I thought it was supposed to be the same actress that plays her in this.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really look that up.
Because we know Owen is the original. I mean, not the original, but the one that plays him in the prequels.
Yep, that's the same actor.
Yeah, and it's so cool that because it's technically, this is supposed to be 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, but um, it's actually 17 years, I think, since Revenge of the Sith. So like, they're even older than they should be in this, but
Yeah,
still cool to see him.
it still works. I
It
think
kind
it
of works
still
better
works.
because like everybody tries to make the joke about how much Obi-Wan ages on the Tatooine desert or whatever. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, we're actually kind of starting to see it a bit.
Oh
And
yeah, they did bring the actress back that played Beru.
that's what I thought. I was surprised they didn't really show her much though so far.
She's gonna be in upcoming episodes though, so it just says that.
Gotcha.
So we'll probably see her. Probably get some kind of family moment with the Luke and Owen and Beru.
Yes. So on Obi-Wan's way back, we get this Nari guy, the Jedi, approaching. This is the one that escaped earlier, right?
Yep. He's looking for Obi-Wan. I don't understand like how he found him, or if it's just like he's feeling it in the Force
Yeah,
or something. I don't know.
I
But
would imagine
it seems
so.
like Obi-Wan though is kind of cut himself off from that. So if you cut yourself off, can't they not feel you in a
Oh,
way?
good question. Um,
I'm
well,
just
yeah, maybe you saw him in
saying.
town or something at some point, but so Nari approaches and Obi-Wan is like, it's Ben. No, you must have me mistaken for someone else. And
Mhm.
he's just not having it, and he's really adamant. Like, I know, he knows who he is and everything, and he's looking for help, I guess, at this point. Is he looking for like a place to stay, or he's just looking
I
for?
think he's just looking for others like
Yeah,
himself to regroup, but it's like it's not much to regroup
right. So
at this point.
Obi-Wan tells him he should take his lightsaber to the middle of the desert and bury it. And that the time for the time of the Jedi is over.
Some foreshadowing right there.
Mm, indeed.
Indubitably.
Okay, so then we get the big surprise, which is so funny because I was telling you before, immediately before we jump to this scene, I was thinking, wait a minute, we get a young Luke. I wonder if we got a young Leia. And then lo and behold,
Well, yeah, we got young Leia.
bam, Alderaan. Pre, uh, what did you say before Death Star?
Pre-Death Star, yes, for
BD.
sure. At least 9 years before.
Was it only? Because it's a how many years?
It's
Isn't it
10
supposed
years
to?
after, and it's 19 from the Battle of Yavin,
Okay, gotcha.
or as they say, BBY.
That's right. That is an actual thing they say. Yes. um. So we see someone who looks an awful lot like Leia getting dressed by her suitors, and
Oh, I'm rich.
and I don't know how any of these people didn't know that this was Leia. I mean, I guess she had the hair and everything.
I think they knew. I think they knew. They just didn't want to deal with Leia being Leia.
Because is it her mom that steps in and
Oh,
realizes
yeah,
she's
because
ready
she
for.
realizes her hand's not the right color.
Oh, that was the first clue. Gotcha. So
Because her buddy or whatever she is was a little bit powdier white, like a
yeah,
powder white look.
it was very much not a human,
Yeah,
though,
yeah, that's for sure.
and yeah, she's supposed to be getting ready for this party of sorts, um, and we then see Leia running off with her drone friend, which I thought was funny because it reminds me of these
Lola, right?
Lola. It reminds me of these drones now that can follow you, and like this new Snapchat one that's coming out.
Hey, hey, it's the new thing of the future. Just wait, we're gonna have things flying around following us all the time.
Yes, or the new thing of a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
That's true. That's true.
So then we see Leia's up in a tree with her droid friend, as you say, Lola, and
Lola.
and she's seeing the ships that are coming in, and she's
Calling them out.
naming them all off, right? And I think her mom eventually finds her, and she she makes a senator comment, like it must have been like one day you'll make a good senator or something like that, right? And yeah, so oh, that's right. Her mother takes the droid away initially, and then she like gives her mom a hug
Snatches
or
it
something
back.
and sneaks the droid back. So she's sneaky that way.
Sneaky.
So then what? So this was right after that. This is the first time we see the repetition of the day in day out of Obi-Wan's work life. He doesn't seem to have very much work life balance. It seems like a probably doesn't get a lot of vacay, you know. But we again see him wrapping that last slice of meat, traveling back into town.
Should I need a routine?
Yeah,
As should everyone have a routine?
right. But that's so it's interesting. He's talking about he's sort of he's distanced, not just distanced himself, but does he even consider himself a Jedi at this point?
Probably not.
Right.
Sounded like he's pretty much like trying to just put it behind him.
You know, it's a great point. Like putting it behind him. You'd think if he's not going to like consider himself a Jedi anymore, you'd think he would have settled down with someone.
Or he's just dwelling on the past because secretly he knows Anakin was still alive.
Right.
You could feel it at the end.
Maybe we'll see. I
Of
mean, he always comes close to someone. Like spoilers for Clone Wars,
you
but
might hear Vader say more things. Maybe we'll hear him talk without his helmet on or something. That'd be interesting.
well, I hope so because we'll get to that later. But we'll see. Because we don't hear him. We don't hear Vader talking in this particular episode.
He just talks in the bantha tank. I'm not Darth Vader.
Yes. Yeah. That would wow. Just like big old slap right to Hayden Christensen's face. That's the equivalent of
Now they need to make that in a Robot Chicken episode or something.
That's the equivalent of the Mandalorian not only having his face showed like once or twice in the series,
It's
or
true.
per season. But this time, when Obi-Wan's back in town, we see Owen there now, and he throws that ship toy on the ground, and uh, basically telling him to
Stay away.
stay away from Luke. And then there's a comment on there about like Obi-Wan's like he must be trained or whatever, and he's like the way you trained his father or whatever. And
Hmm.
they're like, I've seen the memes about that, like, oh snap. um,
All the memes.
yeah. So now though the Inquisitors are back and they're walking through town, and again the third sister's being overly aggressive. They're calling out. They're saying this is why I think it's very strange. I feel like the other two Inquisitors are much
Very
different
laid back.
because yeah, one way of putting it, but they're like they're talking about how they'll be rewarded if, or actually I can't remember the grant. If this is this just two of them at this point, or is this all three of them again still? I can't
It's all
remember.
three of them. No, it's just the two of them.
Yeah, because the other guy is, he's talking about how everybody will you'll be rewarded if they're trying to be more good cop, right?
Hmm.
and and then the third sister is more like you'll be punished if you don't, and she takes some woman's hand, or yeah, because hands will go or whatever.
Hmm.
They talk about so she takes.
And that woman talks back and just takes off the hand.
Oh, so yes, right. She actually did lose a hand right there. Um,
Hmm.
and dude's pissed. He he throws down the bounty puck of which I'm assuming is a bounty puck because similar to what we
Well,
see in the Mandalorian, right?
well, he kind of interrupted Riva when she was almost about to like. She was like telling everyone she'll kill Owen. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't. If the town people don't tell him where the Jedi is, and then that's when he slammed down to interrupt her and say, "Just looking for the Jedi. If you know anything, kind of like just
That's right.
tell
That's
us." And
right.
then
There was kind of a whole thing there with
and
with
then
Owen's
and then
life and family in
yep,
jeopardy, of course. Yeah.
yep. And then they walked away, and then Riva followed, and then kind of threatened Owen again, saying like, "Next time."
Right. Right. And
So
not only yeah, because the whole time Obi-Wan's in the stable behind him or to the side of him, and Owen does basically are like where she's like really like where is the Jedi and
mm,
screaming at him, and thankfully he doesn't point him out, and
she does pretty good as a Inquisitor. I gotta say, is acting.
yes, she
It's
is
because
scarier
it's
than
really yeah.
she's as scary as Darth Vader just about.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with her if she was real. That character was real. I'd be like, nope, I'm good.
Right. Yeah, but the key then, was also like she was threatening his life and his family's, and thankfully, the guy, the I don't remember which brother he is. Anyway, he he
The fifth brother, I think.
yeah he thankfully interjects with that throwing that puck down.
He's like Riva. It's like I love how he talks sometimes. Like that's funny.
So is it which face does it show on that puck though?
The other Jedi,
That's
the
kind of what I thought. Yeah,
Nari.
because that's one of the other things I guess we didn't specifically mention was that you know uh, they're really after that one, and like she's set on Obi-Wan specifically, and
Sounds like for a long time too.
despite the other Inquisitors basically being like, no, you need to let him go or whatever.
Right. It's not hers to have either way. They said.
Right, right. So then we're back on Alderaan, and
Oh yeah, back on all the run.
and we see
Woo woo.
Bail Organa uh, and
Good old
family
Bale.
are greeting, the
Their
three of them.
cousins and family and all that.
Right, they're greeting them at the sort of docking bay or whatever you call it. It's like a platform, docking platform, I guess. And and we
That
see
works.
Leia saying hello to her cousin there, which I thought at first I thought it was like a good greeting at first, and then they take the transport back, and then we have this gathering of people, a nice little mingle, whatever the hell they're there for, and the cousin's a dick.
Yep, basically, yeah.
He's making fun of
Best way to
her
put it.
for thanking droid because she thanks the droid for like giving her what hors d'oeuvres or something.
Which
And
any well-mannered person would do.
right, which we all know. Leia has a history with droids also. Well, not at this point, but we don't.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yes. He's talking about another lower life form, and he's an older cousin, I think, right?
Yeah,
Presumably.
he probably unfortunately died in the Alderaan incident.
Ooh, that got dark.
Yeah, I mean, probably it's karma.
Right.
It's pretty bad karma, but it's still karma.
He might be older, but he's definitely less mature. It would appear. And then after she talks talks some shit to him, she basically dishes it back at him, and then we see Bale, and I don't actually know the mother's name. I don't know if you have.
I don't either.
But they, well, actually, I don't. So we know it's Jimmy Smits. Do we know if it's the same actress that played the mother in the end of Revenge of the Sith?
That I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it because they've been really good about that. Like surprisingly, because they even used the actress that played Mon Mothma in the deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith than in Rogue One. Same actress, I guess. So
is she coming back for Rebel or not Rebels? Andor?
Ooh, I bet she is. I wouldn't doubt it. I haven't heard, but so they're showing them trying to get Leia. They're telling her they need to apologize, or she needs to apologize to her cousin, and
apologize.
Then
no.
we get
no.
She's not having it, but then we get Bale and talking to her one on one more out on the balcony, and you can tell they have probably a more special relationship. You know, he's very sympathetic with her and like telling her one day she'll make a great senator, and she doesn't want to be one, but at the same time, I guess she's kind of destined for it, and how one day she'll be able to talk him or order him around the cousin, and then but until then we apologize, right? Oh yeah, so the thing about not even being a real Organa, I guess I put that was one of the comments the cousin had said, right? Oh yeah, earlier, and then she repeats it, and then
and Bale's like, "You're an Organa."
Yeah, exactly.
You don't ever say that kind of thing.
Right, and then so she looks like she's ready to accept that.
Come back.
Yep. But she goes running off again anyway. Sorry, were you going to say something else before that?
No.
Yeah, she goes running off, and we did see this shadowy figure, I think, in the wood, not shadowy, kind of cloaked figure in the woods earlier.
Shadowy figure.
I think we saw this person earlier briefly, probably when she was naming ships off from the tree branch. But this time, as she's running off, she runs into apparently Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers, which I didn't know at the time. I didn't even
dream of Californication.
And then we get
wonder if he was playing his guitar while he was, abducting her too.
Yeah. Suddenly it turns into Mad Max Fury Road, and there's a guy with a fire guitar on the.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So then there's, I think, two others that run after her too, just calling for help. We get one guard is around,
shot.
and he ends up,
and then she gets caught and
thrown in a bag or something.
That's the last we see of her for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, not cool, Kidnapping a princess, where she's Wait, she's not a princess at this point. I actually
She's a
don't.
Disney princess.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
Part of that gang.
So then we're taken back to Obi home. I put
Obi home. Obi
um,
home.
Obi home Kenobi. And he gets an alert of some kind goes off.
Ooh.
Alarm, I guess.
Yes. Notification sound. It's
Yeah,
like your
it's
text
just a
message.
ba-da-dun sound. And then we get a hologram of Bale and his wife, and
Oh
they're
no.
they're asking Obi-Wan to help, and he's like, no, no, man, no, man, I gotta lay low. I can't
And
do that.
he's back up saying, I have to watch the boy.
But I must watch the boy. And he
Which was
denies.
a little bit of kind of a little bit of horse crap because he could definitely leave for a little bit.
Yeah, he literally has two parents, or, aunt and uncle, I guess is that's right. It is literally his. Like I wasn't sure at first, but yeah, it was because Shmi, his mother, or Anakin's mother, so
Shmi.
his grandmother, Shmi, right? Those were her half siblings, or her half sibling was Owen, right? Because she
Who?
marries because Shmi marries. No, I'm doing the like I'm your own grandpa like speech here, but like she marries the dad. I don't remember his name, but she marries Owen's dad, right? Because he's on that like
Yeah.
floating wheelchair thing.
Their step brother and brother. They're not half or yeah, they're not half brothers. They're step brothers. They don't have they're not biologically related.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Only by marriage.
That's true. But anyway, that's the connection. that's what
There you
makes
go.
that's what actually makes Luke makes them the uncle and aunt. Um, well, roundabout way of getting there. Sorry. So yeah, Obi-Wan denies it. Like he's not having it. He feels bad about it. I'm sure, but he can't leave. So for a third time, we're going through the whole work process. Takes that takes that last bit of meat, wraps it up, back transported to the city. Um,
Dun, 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 dun.
this time we see our poor Jedi friend, and they didn't go super gruesome with this, but he's hung up in town. He's not like hung. He's just like
Just tied
strapped
up
up, tied up,
in
hanging,
the arch.
but very much dead.
It's definitely a callback to like crucifixion kind of thing
Mm,
they're doing in a way, but
mm-hmm.
not doing it in a gruesome way. Just hey, he's tied up. I think he's dead. Oh no, we'll have to untie him down now.
The irony is, I think they were
Bury
a
him.
lot more gruesome with the stormtrooper helmets on the pikes or whatever on at the end of or during the Mandalorian, I guess. But
Yeah, each show has a little bit of different intensity to it. That's
it's
for
kind of
sure.
Game of Thrones, like. um,
But there's never any blood, so that's what makes it. I guess in a way they can do things like that, where they can cut pieces of the body off, but not show
oh,
blood.
there was maybe not any blood until Finn had three streaks of it across his face at in
Well,
when
that was that, but that's a movie that they. I mean, that's PG-13 automatically, so it's like, well, might as well put some blood in there.
It is actually an interesting point. So, Revenge of the Sith was the first PG-13 Star Wars, and then all three of the new ones have been. Is that accurate? I
I
think so,
believe
right?
they are. Yeah,
Because then they're like, yeah, well, we've gone because originally George Lucas talked about for the prequels he wanted to make them for his kids, I think, and then wanted them to be,
I mean,
yeah,
Obi-Wan's technically for. What do they say? It's rated like really young.
yeah, really, gotcha,
Which I guess there's not really blood. I mean, you see a hand get cut off so far, so it's not too bad.
right, right,
And luckily it's a lightsaber, so it cauterizes right away. No blood.
exactly.
Efficient.
And so then, back home, back at Obi-Wan's his cave. He's got like a security camera set up, I guess.
Looks like an
And
R2 like head or something, almost like a little like the camera that comes out of R2's head. I
mm-hmm.
wonder if there's a droid down there. It just sits in there.
Yeah, probably. And
Just saying.
then we see Bale inside, and I'm trying to remember if Bale was like, did he let himself in, or did,
I he let himself in because that's why the droid was like right at the point saying like
mm-hmm.
someone's here.
Right. So he's there. He actually made it there. Guess he knows exactly where he is. Which seems
Somehow.
yeah. Somehow
I was
everybody
thinking about that too. I was like, how did he know where he was?
he must have
Because
told
they
him.
parted, or
Mm-hmm.
he's tracked him down by his communicator somehow.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know.
Either way, his presence of being there convinces them to go after Leia then. And then we do actually get to see Leia again, but in the captor's ship.
Captivity.
Yeah. Whoever these guys are at this point. And
she's got to be used to being captive. Like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
she started young.
And frankly, this would be traumatizing. There's no reason to believe she wouldn't have kind of blocked this out of her memory, maybe.
Could be, maybe. Or someone did like a mind meld. Oh wait, that's Star Trek.
So
Let's say mind meld, but I'm like, that's the wrong sci-fi show.
So Leia is tied up in this ship, and but she gets out her droid. I don't know how she exactly got the droid out without being tied up, but she gets the droid out, and she asks Lola the droid to untie her, and starts doing so, or I was untying or cutting the rope, whatever it may be, and one of these captors, I assume it was Flea again, grabs the droid and smashes it onto the ground.
How
What does
dare
this
you?
mean?
No.
What's with all these people being mean to droids?
I don't know. They have something wrong with droids. Some prejudice.
Not cool, man. Yeah, so right away, again, we got Obi-Wan in the desert on his Yopi,
Yeah,
and
yuppie.
middle of the desert, and then he starts digging. And guess what? Turns out to be
He finds a box.
there's a box in
of
there.
stuff.
And yeah, lo and behold, 2 lightsabers, which is his and hers. No, Anakin's.
Matching set.
Although I never even put together, I never even made the connection to the end of it's called Rise of Skywalker, because that's
Oh yeah,
she ends
yeah.
up.
I was waiting for that story, and I never got the story of how that they got the lightsaber back.
Spoiler for that movie, she ends up burying Luke and Leia's lightsabers, right? Together.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
In the middle of the desert. On.
Well, not by the farm, the old farm.
Oh, that's right. That's where they belonged, I suppose.
That's where they
Because
belong.
spoiler, she couldn't bury him on Alderaan.
True.
But yeah, in this case, he does bring out the lightsabers. It was Anakin's and Obi-Wan's lightsabers, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in between here, we had the captors sort of arguing about that it was a bad idea kidnapping kids or whatever. So even why is it all the bad guys just all have all this infighting going on, man?
I don't know. It's weird. But hey, whatever. Whatevs.
And then we do get them asking, "You sure he's gonna come?" The captors also, I believe, or
Oh yeah, that was the captain. And then that was Riva saying, "Yeah, he'll be his own demise or destruct, something like that." Can't remember the exact words she said, but basically he's gonna, because he's coming out to help. He's gonna screw himself over
mm-hmm.
and and basically they're gonna find him. Oh no!
Yep. So then we're at the what airport? It's spaceport, of course, not airport.
It is a spaceport. Like, what's an
um,
airport in Star Wars?
yeah, every airport is a spaceport in Star Wars, pretty much.
Yeah.
But just they just happen to also be able to fly in the air. But so we had a well, you coming or not moment here, and that's right. This is where he is. He's ready to go on the ship, on the spaceship, and
Space taxi.
he moves forward. He stopped for a second. He's like hesitant. Proceeds, but he like shows his lightsaber, but I don't know. Like,
Yeah, he just kind of trying to. Looks like he was grabbing something, gave it to him, and just had it out there for a second and hit it.
so it wasn't.
Kind of saying
He
he's
wasn't trying to show it.
back.
I was gonna say, yeah,
No,
it wasn't like show your weapons before you board or something.
no. It's just kind of the robe flung over him,
And
but it was
that's how
made to
the
be that.
episode ends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's go do this on the fly. What would you rate this episode?
I'm gonna say a 4.8.
Point. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Good start to the show.
That sounds pretty reasonable. And not to make, I don't want this to be a cop out, but I would also give it a 4.8, which makes it easy math.
4.8.
Yes,
There you
indeed. Go. That is the average between those two. Isn't that amazing?
It's awesome.
All right. Well,
it's awesome.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thanks.
If you want to write in and tell us how wrong we are about something or what have you,
do it.
You can do that at Disnerds Plus spelled out at gmail.com. Same with the website, disnerdsplus.com. We're recording, trying to record at 8 p.m. Central Wednesdays at twitch.tv/shavemaddox. Today we recorded a little earlier so we can get these episodes in because Disney decided to, change their schedule and everything for these. But hopefully we can get back to somewhat of a regular schedule eventually. But just recording a little bit earlier as long as there's overlap with shows and everything. So you can find me at ShaveMadOx. You can find Mike at Cool as a Cucumber. And I think that'll about do it for this episode until a few minutes from now we talk about episode 2. Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Okay, one down.
I'm going to sit for this next one because my back hurts now.
Yeah, fair enough. I was going to say, feel free to take a break if you need to get a drink or something. In fact, I'm tempted to get some wine or something.
Yep, I'll be right back.
Sounds good. I don't have a BRB window for this, but I think people will understand. Just going to deafen for now. And, yeah, let's go get a something. Yep, I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, previously on. I should probably write something in there. Just typing random stuff. Do, 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 do. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right, I'm gonna grab a drink. Like uh, like my little summary of the previous episode. I just I threw in the quickest notes ever for the previous episode. And I'm hoping you can just fill in any holes I may have missed there.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got this last one, then we're caught up at least for 2.
Yes.
Woohoo! And I'm
Yes,
sitting down this time because my back hurts like a motherfucker. I got to either get one of those chairs that you and Dave have, or get one of those mats that's really like squishy for your standing a long time.
Yeah, I still have one at work. The one with topography. I call it's topo is what it's called, but it's got the ones that like make you shift your feet around, which is way better on your joints. I found, but
yeah, I need.
But I'm not using it right now. I should probably bring it home. But yeah, I'd recommend something like that though.
Nice.
Yeah, what have we got here? About 8:30. All
right.
Only about a half hour behind what we'd normally be anyway.
Well, this episode was shorter, so it's not gonna. Maybe not be as long. We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, it makes sense because it's all takes place in relatively the same place.
Yes. Wow. Wow.
Wow. Oh, do you want to?
I am not paying. What?
Are we gonna rate this one on the fly again, or what?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, maybe that's better. I kind of like that.
It could be.
And yeah, I probably let your rating influence mine, but I think I probably always do. All right. How do you? So what is this? Daiyu. I guess that's how you pronounce that.
I don't. Yeah, sure. We'll go with it.
Sure. Why
not? We'll go with it. We'll go with it. How about that?
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Precisely. Indubitably.
Ah, you sucker!
Oh boy. Yeah. let's get this going before we go completely nuts. All right, so let's do this thing. I got this right? It's
go.
Episode 8. Okay, got it. All right, here we go.
Then do it.
In 3, 2. Oops, sorry. And 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to Disnerds Plus, where we talk about your favorite nerdy shows on Disney Plus. This is episode 8 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, part 2. Again for Wednesday, June 1st, 2022. I'm Shane.
Hi, Mike.
Oh, hi there, Mike. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Haha.
Fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Very nice. Yeah, we were just talking. It's like I feel like we just talked about the previous episode. That's crazy.
I know. It's like deja vu or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, we are back to the old Obi-Wan series again. This is gonna go so fast, man. Like that's the worst part of it all.
Well, I mean, still got to stay on Tatooine, so there's not much he could do. Seen him a few times in animation as well, so.
The biggest surprise is that they've branched out beyond Tatooine. They managed. I knew they would. You knew they would as soon as they announced Hayden Christensen was going to be involved, but I didn't really know it would be quite this extent so far.
It's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, of course, let's not forget about previously on Obi-Wan Kenobi. We had Obi-Wan, day in day out worker, doing his job, doing his thing. He's a reliable, good, hard worker.
He is a working man.
Yes, he is. He is the perfect employee. He gets employee of the month every time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they don't have that there at the old beast carcass. But we had Inquisitors hunting Jedi because that's what they do. Turns out
Yeah,
we had
they do that a lot.
Luke got a new toy that was immediately returned.
Ooh, piece of candy.
And Leia stood up for herself from her dick cousin, and a Jedi
He
died.
got abducted.
We had a Jedi that was living there on Tatooine, which you'd think there'd only be one Jedi on Tatooine, but no.
There's two.
This guy comes into town, into Obi-Wan's territory,
And he has
acting
to
like
make
he
trouble.
owns the joint.
There's thousands of planets out there, and he has to pick this one.
Right. What a jerk. Well, he got his, turned out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And then
sad.
Obi-Wan goes to save the day for little Ms. Organa.
Little Leia.
Little
Little
Leia.
Leia.
Like little orphan Annie, kind of.
So now we're at present episode, right?
Now we have present episode. Wait, what do you mean?
We're on the present episode, or the current episode that we're going over right now.
We're on the current episode that we're going over. Yeah, this is true. Very true.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, I totally forgot to do the drum roll last episode. Oh well, maybe that's a dumb thing anyway. So we have Obi-Wan approaching a planet of I'm going to call this Daiyu. That's probably safe to say, Daiyu. And he lands there, and we see some indistinct chatter of the townsfolk there.
It's a good old townsfolk.
So he starts playing Sherlock Holmes, going around asking questions, trying to get some help. There's some people playing a game in there somewhere, and we see this was one that like was not teased by Disney, but teased by, I mean, not exactly teased by people, but like people straight up want like Rex and this and everything. But we did get a bearded clone, at least a presumably homeless bearded clone. Asking if
he's not needed anymore. He's obsolete, which I don't understand how a clone that was built for combat is more obsolete than a stormtrooper. But okay, we'll go with it.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but he's like, spare any credits. Well, maybe the clones just give up. Like I don't know, their purpose is fulfilled.
I mean, you've seen Bad Batch. It didn't seem like they were just following orders. Order 66 got them or something. I don't know.
Right. So yeah, he's like asked if he can spare any credits, and it is still Tamora Morrison. How do you say it? Tamora
Morrison? Something like, yeah, Tamora. I would say Tamora.
So
Tamora.
That guy's just everywhere now. Seems like.
Hey, whatever. If he wants to keep doing it as long as he can, and they can de-age him with their technology, well.
It was
I mean,
cool.
I don't think they de-aged him this time. They just put a beard on him and made him just look a little bit just run down.
It was cool to see a bearded version of him, though, because so far we saw him as Jango Fett, we saw him as Boba Fett.
People are calling for Rex.
Yes.
I think that will happen.
Oh,
dude, think about it.
So too, yeah.
Like, Tamora Morrison he could play multiple roles in all these live action as long as they keep bringing clones back.
Exactly. It's so easy. It's like, it's got one guy. It's great.
And then you got the voice actor covering all the animation for the clones, so which does a good job with the voice acting. He sounds pretty close to Tamora.
Yeah.
In a way, so
good soldiers follow orders.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Oh, that's one of the Bad Batch guys. Is that what you're going for?
Yes.
Sounded like what's the guy's name? The not Tech, or is it Tech?
Tech?
The sniper guy.
Sniper guy.
The guy with the bullseye. Is that his name? Bullseye. Whatever it is.
Crosshair. It's Crosshair.
Crosshair, of course. Bullseye.
Unless that's a Daredevil reference, sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, why not? I mean, they got a very clear Rambo reference in that show.
That's true.
True. The troopers. So there's there's stormtroopers in town, right? I believe.
Yep.
All I wrote was troopers, so I assume that's what I
meant.
There's a girl though on the streets who is selling spice, and clearly Obi-Wan's not interested, but she does proceed to give him a free sample. Puts that in.
That's Ewan McGregor's daughter, actually.
Oh, I did not know. Yep. His daughter, really? That's funny. Yep. Interesting. So she's literally trying to sell her dad drugs. That's funny.
Basically, yeah. Yep.
Which
even gives him some on the house. Here you go, old man.
The funny thing about spice throughout Star Wars, like they talk about, it comes up a lot, right? And Kessel is the spice colony or whatever.
It's one of the spice main spice colonies.
Yeah.
I don't think I think there's more than one, but that's like the big one.
Right. It sort of has always been like alluded to it being a drug, I think, but I feel like this was sort of the most on the nose.
Do you know where they got the spice idea from?
Dune, probably, or no?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the spice must flow. So the book, because I actually don't even know if the original movie came out before.
That's where I think that's George Lucas got the idea of spice is from Dune, and Dune wasn't really doing as great, so
the spice must flow.
They used it,
but it was a book, I think, for a while before. I want to say, but that makes sense. Total sense. Yeah. So then he winds up. So she puts the free sample in his pocket, and there's a kid that approaches, or he winds up talking to about taking him to.
He's looking for Leia.
He's looking for Leia, and he's like, he knows a Jedi, and Obi-Wan seems, I think, kind of surprised about this, and he says he offers to take him to the Jedi. And and then I put in quotes here, the Jedi uses the Force to get a mother and daughter to a ship to leave the planet. And I said that right away because I'm like, this doesn't. And this is what's his name? Camille. How do you say his name?
Camille Ninjari. Johnny, yeah.
Yeah, who is, of course, from Silicon Valley and most recently Eternals.
Dude got jacked.
I think he's awesome. I actually really like him.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's actually one of the best parts of the Eternals, too, by the way. Or is it just Eternals? Eternals? It's just Eternals. It's just Eternals, right? But I think that his whole, relationship with his sidekick or whatever in that, or his, butler guy, whatever he is hilarious. His camera guy, I guess, mostly in that movie, I think is awesome. But
yeah.
So then Obi-Wan, at first he's talking to him, trying to get information, but he very quickly calls him out on all his tricks and his magnets that he has to make the windows open and close, and all of his other force things that he's doing.
I knew, you just felt that when you saw him, you're like, he's not force sensitive.
Right.
He's pulling a leg here.
Well, and the biggest giveaway probably was that he's charging. He's like, for a nominal fee, he'll do these things. I'm like, that's not the Jedi way.
But I thought when he did the mind trick over the communicator, I'm like, I've never seen a Jedi do that. I don't think they can do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Be closer to him.
So, and I didn't know at the time, but I assumed that was I don't know what was going on there, but that was just somebody else. That wasn't a real stormtrooper.
His con buddy.
Yeah.
Con buddy, yeah.
But they did reveal later that he did actually get them off the planet. So you can kind of tell early on maybe this guy's got some good in him because Obi-Wan, after he calls him out, he's immediately I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. He
Yep,
says right away. So it's like, oh, okay. But this guy's not as bad as he
because
maybe.
he has a blaster up to his chest. He doesn't want to die.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't blame him. I'd be like, yeah, I'll help.
So he
Is it
directs
is it
in
funny though? It's Obi-Wan that has a blaster, and he in the last what is it? Revenge of the Sith, he said
such a
so
primitive, so
uncivilized or
uncivilized as
something
it
like that.
was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's a good point. Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, huh, not, well, I mean, times change, I guess, but he got to use a different weapon unless he
Mm-hmm.
wants to be exposed. But
Right,
just
right.
saying.
So he winds up. What is it? I had his name in here somewhere, but um, this Jedi gets him to the sewers, where
Jedi.
then he winds up in this lab and following someone in there, and Obi-Wan winds up with a gas mask on because I guess there's all these chemicals and
I think they're
everything.
making refining spice of some sort. You get the spice
Yeah, I was gonna
place.
say I wondered if that was what it was. But probably part of the reason he has this gas mask on is um,
Didn't want to breathe that stuff in.
he don't want to breathe this stuff in, but he does cause an explosion of sorts. I put explosion. I don't know if that's exactly right.
Well, he had to get in that door,
And
so he
is
pickpocketed that guy that passed him too to get in through the other security door.
gotcha.
It's really quick, but you catch him like his hand goes like kind of in the guy's robe to grab the key card or whatever it was to open up the door.
Right. So at this point, the explosion or whatever it was just like a chemical explosion, right? Of
Yep.
one of the beakers or whatever that was in this lab. Then we have a I put a mall guy. Do you remember the
I see
name?
that.
You know the name of their species again by chance? Uh,
Oh.
I never remember
Um.
it.
Uh.
It's how about Dathomirian? Dathomir is where they're from,
No.
right?
It's from Dathomir, but I don't know if that's actually what they are.
That's what Google
Oh yeah,
says.
yeah. It says Dathomirian.
Yeah. So that's what he is. He looks like
Dathomirian Sabrak.
okay, because the women from the planet are the witches, which always confused me, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they have some weird witchcraft boogie woogie stuff they're doing.
right. So the Dathomirian, all the women on Dathomir look like that. Hey, I guess so. They look like
Bald?
that water inquisitor lady, whatever her name was.
Oh,
What was her name? Oh, Ventress. There it is.
I don't
So,
think she was an Inquisitor though.
oh, whatever she
She was
was.
pre-Inquisitor for Count Dooku.
Right. Who he ends up giving up on or whatever. Spoilers for
Maybe we'll
that.
see Ventress live action eventually.
Anything's fair game at this point.
Yeah, because I never saw her die in Rebels or anything like that. Or no, not Rebels, Clones.
mm.
So she's out there. She is out there.
Sure, sounds good. Yeah,
Where?
that'd be cool. Uh,
Or she partners up with Fennec Chan and like Boba Fett. That'd be
mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah, why not? Um,
Anyway, back to
yeah. So the death of Miriam and another uh, different species. I don't know if
guy.
it's just a human or not. Another guy. They both confront Obi-Wan at this point, and they fight. They do indeed fight.
I thought he broke his hand at one point. Like, because he punched him and he's like yelling, ah! He's not in shape here. He has not been
Yeah.
practicing his Jedi way.
So then, I guess one of them, tells him where the girl is. He
Oh,
does.
because he like whispers in his ear or something. Then I don't know if maybe he's starting to use the Force again there. I don't know.
Okay.
Or he just hopes that he's going to whisper in his ear and tell him where it is.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, then there's a robot that gets uncloaked. Why don't I remember this?
Yeah, it was weird. It was a setup. That's why. Because then Flea and his gang come in and come up on Obi-Wan and hold him down. And that's where he threw that
spice bomb.
spice bomb, yeah.
I mean, the spice
And
that a
then it got him
girl.
all weird, and he put his mask back on, ran out.
That's
I think
right,
he
because
kicked Flea the first off because he wanted to get his lightsaber back, and then he left.
They
And
were.
then he found Leia, and Leia punched him when he was trying to
Oh yeah, but
come in the door.
before he threw the spice bomb down, though, yeah, they were kind of beating him up a bit, roughing him up,
Roughing him up.
and
Yep.
then yeah, that's when the spice must flow. Yeah, like you said, Leia kind of initially punched him and ran off. But I was trying to remember. She didn't. Oh, that's right. She doesn't. This is the first she meets him, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, this is their first meet.
She doesn't know who the hell he is at first, which makes sense.
Oh,
why would you?
She didn't know he's a Jedi or anything.
She's one of them, or he's one of them. But he proceeds to break her out. So then, they are back in sort of the streets area, and they walk out in costumes, whatever you want to call them, disguises. I guess is the proper term to say. But
that would be that'd be right.
one of them I didn't think about until later, but because Leia's in green, and it totally reminds me of her Endor. Yeah, what she's wearing on Endor a bit.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to call back to that or something.
Right. So Leia, I think she sees that he's a Jedi. Is it because of the lightsaber?
I believe so. Yeah, she sees the lightsaber once he takes that lab gown off or whatever for a second, and he's like, "Shh."
And then then she just about bumps into this big furry creature outside, and
furball.
Very surprised by it.
Well, she's never left the planet Alderaan, so she doesn't know anything else.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
Yep. So she's exploring a whole new aspect of life for her.
Mm-hmm. So then back on, I don't know if do we see where the Inquisitors are at this point? Because I guess this is technically.
Well, they're pissed. Well, Grand Inquisitor, like in the other two he had with them, they like come up on Riva and just like telling her she's like the bottom of the barrel, kind of stinky crap, something like that.
You're a big doo-doo head.
You're a bottom feeder. You're like us. You're just lucky you're here because of what you showed in skill, kind of thing. And then she's like, "This is owed to me," and then Grand Inquisitor basically dismisses her, and then she goes and decides to, let the whole planet know where Obi-Wan is, that he's here. Or all the bounty hunters that were in the town, at least.
That's right. So the thing so they are actually on this planet at this point already?
Yeah. Basically, Daiyu also sounded like a sketchy planet when they first said that the sensors don't work because everyone wants their privacy. So it's like, okay, this is a bad planet, like a bad guy planet.
Right.
So makes sense. There's a bunch of bounty hunters there. So all she had to do was send out a notification to all these bounty hunters, and they have those pucks. So she's like, "Hey, he's here somewhere. Find him." They're gonna do it because the Empire's gonna pay big for Kenobi.
Right. Oh yeah. So then Obi-Wan and I'm trying to remember this exactly, but Obi-Wan and Leia are at like a market vendor.
It's like some kind of like farmer's market / clothing market. I don't know.
It's just like like any in town vendor. There's somebody selling some clothes, and Obi-Wan goes. She's holding some gloves, and says, "You don't need those." And then pretty quickly says, "And the gloves, like add those."
Like on. He just didn't want to. He didn't even want to bother. He's like, "I'm not going to argue."
Right. Not going to argue with royalty.
How dare you?
And then there's also some food she smells and tries taking. Um, yeah, but she's 10, but she's also
she's 10.
she's 10, but she also has a lot of she's speaks a lot more
She's
intellectually
open-minded.
than most 10-year-olds. Like
she's a very open-minded girl.
Yeah, but she's very much surprises Obi-Wan with her everything she talks about here. And by the way, um, does he introduce himself as Ben? I think he does, right? Because
I believe he does, yes.
I know in the next episode she strictly refers to him as Ben, but yeah. So we see I gotta look his name up exactly, but I want to say it right. Camille something Johnny. I want to say it right. Noon Johnny, is it? Well, I'll find his real name. Camille non Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Camille? I didn't figure out how to know how to actually say it right. Anyway, his character's name is where is it? I'll find out later. But anyway, he is going after. Let's see, what was he doing at this point?
He was trying to find Obi-Wan because that's when she sent out that warning, and then him and that kid got the update. And
that's right.
They
that's
went,
right. She put out
running
the warning,
off,
and yeah, so they both like we had him, and they had him right here, and they
were really pissed about it. They're like, "Damn it!"
Mm-hmm. So then we see Obi-Wan. He takes out one of the bounty hunters that are after him at this point. I don't remember which bounty hunter this was. There's a few of them. I guess.
I think it was the one that looked like a crocodile head.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, there was. It was just a straight up. Oh god, it was. Harkens back to Moon Knight, kind of. It was, I can't even think of the names anymore. But
oh my god, they're tied together. It's a dream. It's part of Mark Spector's dreams.
Right. What the heck what god was that again? Oh gosh, there's the whole thing that Harrow is I can't even think of the names anymore. Doesn't matter. No, has nothing to do with this show. But
exactly.
Yeah, so they got bounty hunters after him, and then shortly after, Obi-Wan and Leia are hiding out. They find a spot in an alley. They can hide out for a bit. And fairly quickly, she starts questioning things when she sees Obi-Wan's face on this bounty puck. So much so right away she's like, "Who even are you?" And runs off back through into the streets, and she goes under that weirdly shaped polar bear thing that I think was the thing that she just about ran into earlier. Was that the same one?
I think it was different.
Okay.
I thought it was different, but maybe I could be wrong.
But it's like a polar bear that has a very wide, very tall legs that she can just run right under. But yeah,
that's what 10-year-old can do.
Yeah. So then we had one of the Pikes shows up, which we've seen in probably most recently in the Book of Boba Fett. Yep. And this Pike tries to get Leia to tell her where Obi-Wan is. Obi-Wan, of course, just shoots the Pike. And then we got I guess so yeah, Leia started climbing to the rooftops, I guess. She got up to the rooftops.
Yep.
So then Obi-Wan went after her, and they're kind of continuing. It's funny because there's a rooftop scene in freaking Moon Knight also. So there's
a lot of rooftop scenes.
Yeah. They're running.
Hawkeye has rooftop scenes if you want to really go down that aisle.
Maybe it's just a trope that.
And so does Book of Boba. So.
Right. So they're going running along the rooftops up there, we see I put him as a dino. So maybe this is the one that there's a bounty hunter that looks like a dinosaur. I think he looks like like a raptor or something, but I don't think that was
Now
the.
we're in the Jurassic Park.
You know what that reminds me of is the the weirdest, like the most take you out of it moment is in Jurassic Park 3 when the the guy sleeping next to him on the plane has a raptor head. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember that
He's
was
like,
weird. I was like, okay.
Alan. Just suddenly reminded me of that. This particular. So is that the one you were talking about? Is this the one you were thinking was the crocodile, or was there a separate crocodile or
Oh,
alligator?
maybe that was the same one. That was what I was thinking. Sorry.
So the dino bounty hunter, not to be confused with a dino hunter,
Dino Hunter.
Turok or whatever.
Yes, that's a good one.
He or she shoots Obi-Wan, and the dino shoots back. So they exchange gunfire, you might say,
Mm-hmm.
and we see Riva. I'm Riva. Leap. She's like she's got a
She's got
jump on
parkour
her.
going. She's got some dark side parkour.
She's got some yeah, some, what do you call
That's
that?
what it is.
Jump.
Dark side parkour. That's new.
Yeah, that's canon. She's
Yeah, she
leaping
did it.
across the. She's got ups. That's what I was gonna say. Like for real, she's leaping from roof to roof. After Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan continues pursuing Leia as best he can. We've also got a robot bounty hunter, but so this isn't like an IG unit robot, obviously.
No, it's a different. It's close to, but it's a different kind. Yeah, it's got those buggy eye look thing.
Okay, yeah. This one's also started shooting at Obi-Wan, so he's got it coming from all ways. There's several rooftops probably that are trying to get after him. And so what is it? Is Haja maybe the name? That's right.
Haja is, yeah, that's the
That's
Jedi or
finally
the Jedi.
finally got his name. So somewhere down below we've got Haja trying to uh, use his Jedi abilities on
Riva.
Riva, right?
She's not buying it.
Not at all. So much so that Riva uses her force moves to just extract from his brain, from his mind, where Obi-Wan is at this point, and it's right around this time where Leia tries to. She tries to jump down, or
Yeah, she tries to jump over the between the buildings, which was a dumb idea because she's not going to make it.
wasn't going to
But she
happen.
tried.
But that essentially, like, Obi-Wan is in anguish at this point. Like, he thinks he's lost her, so he's forced, no pun intended, to use his force
Abilities.
to then save her, prevent her from. He slowly descends to the ground, or it was initially took him some strength. It's probably been a while since he'd really used that ability, but thankfully she eventually falls safely to the ground. And this is kind of a weird. This didn't really make a lot of sense to me because somehow Obi-Wan just comes down and is able to check on her. I don't know.
Maybe he like used the force just to float down. We
Right.
just didn't see it. I'm just kidding. He
Yeah, I don't
probably
know.
maybe there's a ladder. Maybe there's like some ladder nearby. He just did the fireman ladder
It
trick
seemed
where you
like a
just
little bit
slide
of a
down.
plot hole because yeah, like everything just all the gunfire just stopped all of a sudden. I don't really know what happened there.
Yeah. Eh.
Um,
I didn't really notice it that much, so it didn't really affect my perception of it, I guess.
yeah, yeah. But you did notice something last episode, I think, that bothered you, right? I think there was something. I forgot what it was. Doesn't matter. We had the
Oh yeah, there was, yeah.
we had
So
the
that something about Bail Organa and how he found
yeah, sounds about right.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, fair enough. That was. That's true. So the Inquisitors and the stormtroopers, they are waiting at the spaceport at this point, and I guess Haja's
Hey.
last name is Estri. Um,
Mhm.
he he must kill the must have killed the robot bounty
He
hunter.
kills the robot bunny hunter. He keeps on. He also shoots him when he leaves as well, which is kind of funny. He just keeps on shooting them.
uh, and then he also redirects them so they don't go exactly in the where all the Inquisitors are, right? Um,
Yeah, he redirects them to a spaceport that's automated, so there's no human being. So that's the only way out of there because the spaceport's closed. So he has them go there, and he says, "Go on that. I'll have." He gives them coordinates to meet someone at that planet that shuttle is going to. So.
and he kind of makes amends a little bit with them and shows him he's still got some good in him. He's you know
Hmm.
well, he's certainly not like Anakin level here or anything, right? But
No.
uh, and then we see the oh wait, is it the Grand Inquisitor that kills Flea? I keep calling him Flea. I
Yes,
don't actually
yes.
know if we.
Yeah, he does. He has his the
That's right.
lightsaber with the spinny function that goes and flea
Which
kind of, and he pull and flee in with the force, so he just kind of gets sliced up. I guess we don't see
which
it, but we intend that's what's happening.
correct me if I'm wrong, but the first live action one of those twirly lightsaber
Yes,
deals, whatever those are called.
right. But you don't see it all fully on live action, fully on the screen. You just see the sabers going by. I don't know if they've how that's going to look when I would like to see it on live action, but maybe they don't have it figured out yet that they can't really show it that
Yeah,
well.
that could be. So far we've only seen it on his back prior to this. We see it as
Right,
in
which
its.
is pretty cool. It's a cool prop look that looks.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's different for sure. Because there's only so many directions you can go once you have a dual bladed lightsaber and you have a lightsaber with a hilt on it. This is way cooler
Yeah,
than
it's
that,
true.
by the way. I have to say.
Oh yeah. Well, they can use this helicopter as well.
I'm
Technically, you see
Mary
on
Poppins,
Rebels.
y'all. Wait, is that?
Yeah, that's Marvel. That's Guardians. That's a good one. I always wanted
um,
to get a shirt like that. I never got the shirt that says "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all,"
yeah.
with Yondu just got holding his arrow.
Oh yeah. So I guess what happened here is there must have been. This is the part I have where Riva gets the info from Haja's mind, but
Does the not Jedi mind trick, but the mind reading Sith
yeah, yeah,
evilness. She must
yeah.
not be that evil though, because her eyes aren't too sissy looking.
That's true. I suppose that's true. True. Is that a requirement? I guess.
Maybe it's not because they're not fully Sith, because you can only have two. The rule of two is two Sith, and they're Inquisitors. They're not full on Sith. So
Right.
there's a different level, I guess. I
Although
don't
she seems she seems pretty determined to be one. Maybe that's part
know.
of it.
Maybe her and Vader. There's a plot
The plot
already at
thickens.
hand.
So they do end up making it to that, as you said, automated docking bay, and
Yes.
Obi-Wan is telling. Oh yeah, we get the candid moment where Obi-Wan tells her that he reminds her of
Sure.
someone. Can't
Oh,
imagine who.
I know, right?
And oh my God, Reva comes in, lights up her
With her
lightsaber,
lightsaber.
and so she doesn't have. She has just a proper uh, first gen lightsaber.
She might have both because I saw her also have one that held with a hilt that looks like it can spin as well.
Oh, okay,
So
gotcha.
they might have. Maybe
Multifunctional.
sometimes they have two. Yeah, could be. I
Interesting.
mean, Ahsoka technically has two lightsabers. So I
Very true.
mean, and General Grievous had four. I
And
mean,
if you cut Darth Maul's in half, you got two.
there you go. See, bam.
Actually, that did happen, didn't it? But he only had one
I
after
believe it
that.
happened. Yeah, yeah, it did happen.
Although I kind of like every time I question that, like, where are the crystals? They don't just fall out exactly. I don't. Anyway, um,
So what? Reva calls for Obi-Wan and
Yes.
just kind of taunting him
Come
and
out, come out,
trying
come
to get him
out.
into slip, or maybe trying to feel him out, trying to get him have his emotions get the best of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then, Leia, she inserts something in the transport.
It looked like a kind of like a key or something to it. It had
Yeah.
probably some sort of override, maybe. I don't know. It's
So
hard to
then that
tell.
starts the ship up, or I don't know if that was.
I don't know if what I maybe I don't know. Like it seemed like the ship was already on its way out.
Right. And then we got a Lord Vader will be pleased moment from Reva. Well, she doesn't talk like that, but
She's more a little bit softer when she's like, "Lord Vader will be pleased."
it's much better than what I did, whatever that was.
Oh,
Uh, oh, and yes, of course, this is the moment we get where the big reveal, Reva
Anakin's
reveals.
alive.
Oh yeah, because I guess she said Lord Vader. Of course, that was kind of like, oh, you didn't know?
She just says after that, Anakin Skywalker is alive,
Mm-hmm.
and then Obi-Wan is just like he looks like he just kind of
Like
saw a
he
ghost,
literally saw a ghost, right? Exactly. Uh,
and yeah, and then you got the Grand Inquisitor comes in while Reva's like pulling back like all the cargo equipment in the docking bay, and starts yelling at him or yelling at each other, and
something that I don't think any of us expected. Certainly not this soon. Uh, she puts a lightsaber through him.
yes, that was not expected. I was like, whoa. I don't think that's the end of him.
Well, I was gonna say.
It's
So again, he shows up in. You said Rebels,
Rebels. So
which would have been before
this
this,
is
or no, after this,
no, this is after. Yeah, this is after.
which is part of the
Because
reason.
Rebels takes place probably 3 or 4 years before uh Rogue One,
Yeah, the timelines I get so mixed up.
and then you go into New Hope right after that. So it's like literally right bumped up right there.
Right. So, yeah, this is more the reason. Like, I mean, it seems like it would be the same Grand Inquisitor that we see.
It is. It has to be. It
Yeah. Well,
has to be.
it has to be. I mean, he certainly looks like him, but definitely portrayed with a
He could
taller
have
head.
lived. I mean, Fennec Chan lived after she got shot in the stomach.
Yeah, I just got to bring in some
Just
cyberpunk
hey,
kids,
I mean,
or
they
not kids, but
Empire has all the cybernetics you can get. I mean, look at Darth Vader. He's pretty.
very
He's
true.
pretty. He's pretty. He's like Mercedes of all Dark Lord suits.
Yeah, it's true. So then Obi-Wan and Leia thankfully are able to then take
Take
off.
off. Bye bye.
And this episode ends with Anakin or Darth Vader, I guess.
Both same thing.
Kind of weird though that because I mean they make the distinction outside of this, and they say that the two different people. Like Anakin actually is supposed to not be alive at this point, or technically, or whatever you want to call him. But Reva straight up called him Anakin.
I'm still wondering how she knows that, because it's not supposed to be known who he actually is once after he transformed into Darth Vader. That's what
Really?
I was always understood about Star Wars lore. Like, no one knows besides only small few.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but
Maybe they'll reveal. It
so that's why
probably
I'm
will.
like, that's why I'm curious. Like, how does she know he's Anakin?
I bet we will find that out because she absolutely has an incredible drive to go after Obi-Wan. Like she knows something, yeah, like you said that these other people don't know or something because um she knows early on that that's gonna make Vader happy
Yep,
to get
it'll
Obi-Wan.
be interesting. We'll see. Have to see next week.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, it shows Obi-Wan in his back to tank and we get the breathing. But we
Not
get
Obi-Wan. It shows Anakin in the back
sorry.
tank, not Obi-Wan.
Yeah, we get Anakin in the back to tank, and he's breathing.
And his eyes just open, like,
yes,
creepy. He's
which
back.
is indeed,
Indubitably.
yes.
Yes.
That's kind of interesting because, like in Rogue One, we didn't get. We obviously had a Darth Vader.
Yep.
And
Definitely
we, but you never think about. So wait a minute. Rogue One is how many years after? You said 17 years after this or something? Is that when A
Rogue
New Hope
One
is?
would be right bumped up to New Hope. Like Rogue One ends, New
Right.
Hope starts. It's
Right.
supposed to be 19 years BBY.
Okay.
BBY 19 is right before. So Revenge of the Sith and New Hope is 19 years apart.
19
That's the
years.
timeline.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's why you have a lot of story you can have in 19 years.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
We're seeing it.
they kept it open. I think they're keeping it open on purpose. It seems like.
And they're definitely trying to squeeze in the little awkward, lines from the original 3 movies to make it work. I mean, it's a little awkward, but whatever. They're trying to make it work. I get it, and it's awesome because you get a shit ton more content. Excuse my language.
All right, Mike. What are we thinking for this one? We'll give it a little.
It's not gonna be as high as my last one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 4.3.
Oh wow, going down. All right, I'm gonna do a little higher. I'm gonna say 4.5 then. Again, it makes it easy.
Another gap.
This is a 4.4, and we had a 4.8 before and a 4.4. Still pretty good. I think we just everything in the fours. We just love this all so much. We're never getting anything lower than a 4, probably.
Well, if I like it, I'm not gonna give it anything lower than a 4 because it's good.
Yes.
A 3 is gonna be like, what? That's a little stretchy kind of thing for me.
Hand is off the chess piece. I can't take my rating back now. This is how it works.
Yep. Sucks.
Well, that was fun. This is fun. We're gonna have to be doing this we're gonna have to do
all
dual episodes for a while, I think. So yeah. So stay tuned for that. If if you'd like to comment and make suggestions or feedback or anything at all,
please
don't spam us though. Don't send us your
please
marketing
don't.
materials.
Nope.
You can do that at disnerdsplus@gmail.com. Our website's disnerdsplus.com. We're recording Wednesdays at probably for the next few weeks, it's going to be at about 7 p.m. Central, but hopefully beyond that, we'll get back to 8 p.m. Central. But let's just say Wednesday nights in general at twitch.tv/ShaveMaddox. You can find me at ShaveMaddox. You can find Mike at Cool as a Cucumber. Any last words?
No.
Just keep watching Obi-Wan with us.
Keep trucking the trucking.
Keep on trucking. All right. Thanks again, everyone.
Later.
See you next time. Bye. Okay, we done did it.
Yeah, we did it.
We're total heroes.
Woohoo!
Oh my
man.
goodness. That was
I'm feeling good after I drank the rest of my whiskey and there's a lot in here. I'm feeling really awesome right now.
So you didn't drink it all yet?
I haven't drank it all, but I mean, the bottle's empty, so whatever's left in there was drank.
Nice.
So I'm gonna have this nightcap, and then probably, yeah, I don't know, settle in, go to sleep by 10:30 ish.
Yeah.
Because I'm an old man and I gotta go to bed early. That's not really true.
That's called being a responsible adult. I understand.
That's true. I mean, I had to be up I wake up at 6:30, so that's that. Ugh. Anyway.
Yeah,
Well,
good
that was fun.
times.
Yeah, what are you doing now? You gonna jump on and play some Beastmasters or something?
Some what?
I don't know.
That's a old 80s movie, isn't it?
I don't know. I just made it up. First thing that came to mind, that was what came to my mind.
I think I might play some Sylvester. What's up? Good old Beastmasters.
Beastmasters.
I'm so close to beating Elden Ring. I'm just like
I know it's what the one I was saying, Elden Ring. I couldn't think of it. I was like, Beastmasters.
Bassmasters, yeah.
Oh, Bassmaster. Damn, that would have been funnier. Oh, shit. Next time.
Yeah, I'll see. You know, I'm deciding if I should send over a raid. I might because I gotta put these episodes live. But I might still play some Elden Ring after that.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I was feeling games tonight, but then now I'm just like, I don't really feel like playing right now.
Yeah, gotcha. Fair enough.
I don't know, you ever have those times where you're you just don't feel like playing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It happens
Nice.
once in a while.
Once in a while. That's nice. Well, all right. Well, that was fun. We got 2 down.
It's cool.
Next week was episode 4, and then we did do 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So then we'll kind of catch up, but then we got Miss Marvel after all that shenanigans.
I think we're gonna make it work. I think we can make it work.
Yep. We'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You have a great night.
Later. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is the best part. I get to do the mirror dance. Mirror dance, yo. It's a mirror dance. This is the mirror dance. Mirror dance. Mirror. Mirror match. Yo. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Wait, which volume do I start with? Start with the low volume. It's mirror dance, mirror dance, mirror by mirror, mirror dance. All right, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.